Welcome back to Beach Share Chats. My name is Brian Kaiser here, and it's a Monday, and it's a Monday of all Mondays. But the best part is it's coming off a wonderful, finally solid stretch of good weather in New England, finally, this weekend. So, of course, I did go to the beach, but being the spirit of Beach Share Chats, have a great guest today, Tim Delaney. How are you today, Tim?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here too. Now, where are you located? Are you located in New England or no?
Not too far away. I'm in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. Are you a Bills
Yep,
fan?
I am.
All
Yes.
right. Well, this is not a
So,
not a football talk show right now, but it's
um,
okay. That's all right.
I lived in Boston. I went to school at Boston College for 4 years, so I am familiar with the New England sports fans.
That's what they, well, everybody, I'm not a native of New England, so I've adopted New England as my teams because I wasn't going to be New York by all means.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with Buffalo. They have no problems with Buffalo at all. It's the other New York stuff.
Yeah.
We're good.
Uh,
There's
the the Bills are the actual only NFL team in the state of New York, so it's
exactly. And but there's no beaches in Buffalo. There's lots of
uh,
snow. Is there?
we
Well,
we do. Yes,
the
we have the Great
lakes.
Lakes.
I
Yep.
keep forgetting. I always think of
Yeah.
snow. Whenever I think of
Yep.
Buffalo, it's like you get buried in snow, lake effect
That's
snow, and it's
Yep.
almost summertime here. Not summer, but we're
Yep.
inching
Oh,
closer.
it's hot here today. My
I know
kids thought
it's
they were going to have the day off of school because it was too hot.
too hot. Oh
They
dear
they
God,
thought it's not that hot.
are we getting that soft now? It's
Yeah,
not that hot, but some schools don't have AC, right? Though.
they do not. So
Yeah,
it's
I
fair.
guess. Well, you have a pretty cool story. So talk a little about your story. You own you. I guess from reading this, you bought some wine and liquor stores from. You just kind of have a story of being a startup. So talk a little bit about that journey of yours.
Yeah. I grew up in a family of small business owners, so I kind of always had that in the back of my mind that the freedom and the ups and downs that come with business ownership, but just the freedom of lifestyle that I saw growing up, kind of always knew that I might want to do that. But I went to college for to be a stockbroker because I also enjoyed the
Mm.
stock market. Uh, about halfway through school, I realized the idea of sitting at a desk for 80 hours a week sounded horrendous. Didn't know what I was going to do with my life, so I joined the Peace Corps. Um,
Hey,
Went to a little country in South America called Guyana,
okay.
which is where I met my wife. She's from there. And the two of us, after that, moved to Ethiopia, in Africa, and spent almost 4 years there. I was working for a development program, kind of industrializing the country on a post-World War II German economic model, with the German government supporting it. It was fun. It was interesting. Got to see firsthand the power that economic activity can have on poverty alleviation and job creation and all that fun stuff. But we missed family, decided to move back to Buffalo,
Hmm.
and I decided to try my hand at business for myself. While I was still working remotely, I used some contacts in Ethiopia, had a handmade leather iPad sleeve created. This is back first gen iPad. There
Ooh,
was no
nice.
smart covers. People were trying to figure out what to do with this really expensive piece of technology that had no native cover to it. Developed the thing, took a while, got my first shipment landed, and what felt like weeks later, Apple announced the iPad 2.
Mm.
Apparently, Steve and Tim decided that they didn't need to consult me on
No,
changes to dimensions
why
and
dare they?
product. Yeah.
Jerks.
Yeah, yep. It was yeah, a little stab in the back. I thought we were tight, but guess not.
Well,
So that
I will say this, the Apple decided to update the USB port, it's all business.
yeah,
It's like we
yep,
just know this works, but if we want to make more money, we just change some features here so people have to buy more stuff.
yep.
As a Samsung Android, like about time you get the USB port.
Yep,
See,
exactly. Yeah, I think it took the EU regulation to force them on that, but so I that kind of wasn't taken off, and around that time, an opportunity to buy a small business fell in my lap,
yeah.
and that particular business didn't work out. But going through the process, it opened my eyes to the power of buying a small business. Like you can use bank leverage. There's existing profits and you can pay yourself right from the beginning. You don't have to go through that
Hmm.
startup grind of months, years, decades of never really knowing whether or not you should be paying yourself yet because
Yeah.
you need to reinvest. So I went down a rabbit hole to find a small business and eventually found a wine and liquor store that I bought almost 13 years ago to the day. So a few days ago, the anniversary.
Well, happy anniversary today. How do you just find a business? Is there like a website? It's like these are businesses that
Yep.
need homes
Yep.
and an
Yep.
owner.
Yep.
This is like
It's yeah, it's sort of like Zillow. There's a website called bizbuysell.com
biz
that
buy sell.
yeah, there a whole bunch of businesses listed. There's also some more specialty websites for like online or e-commerce sites or different industries might have their own platforms. But it is a little bit different than buying a house because the brokers have proprietary listings. There's no shared listing service. So some
Hmm.
of them will post certain businesses on BizBuySell or other sites, but a lot of them they keep in-house. The sellers oftentimes don't want the whole world to know that they're selling.
Hmm.
So even listing anonymously, they're worried people might figure it out. So you have to spend a lot more time going broker to broker as a buyer because you can't just hire, it's when you're buying a house, you find one agent that you like, and then that agent goes out and finds all the available houses for you. With the business brokers, they won't talk to each other, so they won't share their listings with each other. So you got to go out and meet all of the different brokers. So it's a time consuming process.
It sounds like a process too, but it's obviously it's worked out. You said 13 years to the date. You
Yep.
know, what are some like bumps in the road when you started it, or did it just take off and go smoothly? I mean, it's a wine and liquor store. It's
Yeah.
we've had wine and
It's
liquor a while, and there's some
it's
big companies too. But how did it start out for? How's it going?
Yeah, it's kind of one of the things that I like about buying a business is that you get the playbook. The sellers showed me what they did. They showed me how they did things. I inherited two part-time employees that had been with them for a couple of years. So even when I had questions about different things, those employees were able to answer a lot of them. Uh, I introduced a point of sale system from day one, which was kind of the biggest change I made early on. And then just spent a lot of time on Facebook. This was a while ago. So
Hmm.
Facebook marketing,
When it
posting.
was when
It's,
Facebook was cool, now it's this
yep,
dumpster fire of
yep,
crap.
yeah, yep.
I don't even know what it is anymore.
It's
Um,
yeah, and I was buying ads back then too for a penny an impression, getting a lot of traction because there wasn't a lot of competition back then either.
yeah. Do you find it harder now to be on online to market? I mean, since social media is hard to navigate sometimes, you find it more challenging now than it was like maybe the excitement that Facebook Marketplace had or the market.
Yeah.
Has it changed quite a bit?
It's definitely evolved. I don't buy ads on Facebook anymore. We still get a lot of traction from our following. It has not grown much in the
Hmm.
last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, but we still get a lot of traction from our existing following. And wine and liquor is a pretty local thing. It's a convenience item. Most people don't go out of their way to buy it. So our customer base is pretty solid and pretty close by. So you know, on the personal side, I've been liking Threads a lot because I think it is a that newer platform. There's still
Hmm.
opportunity to grow. It's more engaging and there's not as
Yeah.
much video and visual stimulation, so you can kind of just read, digest quickly, and engage with people more easily.
It reminds me of the OG Twitter before Twitter became Twitter and now it became X and not even what it is. I haven't been on
Yep.
it since the
Yep.
election because that was an
Yep.
interesting experience.
Yep.
Um, but it's Threads it's good, and it has trying to figure out the algorithm. I'm trying to do myself with this podcast too, and trying to make it engaging. Like, what's the hook? What is the one thing that's going to get a bunch of people to see your stuff? And sometimes they see nothing. Like I don't know how to navigate it. Sometimes it's just being crafty with words, timing, when it hits. What's the phrase that I do? Like I do this for the
Yeah.
beach chair chats. It's the threads page. I have a separate one just for that. And I try to think of fun things that like, okay, that's engaging. It's kind of the wording's a little bit intriguing, so I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna get followers, right? It's just hard to do, right? Especially
Yeah.
if it's just you or if you're a one person show, or is it just you doing all this kind of work?
Yeah, from on my personal brand side, 'cause I launched a podcast a year ago as well,
Welcome.
and
All right, podcast
it's
subs.
yeah.
What's the
So
name of
on
the
that,
podcast? What is the name of it?
yeah, it's called Business Buying for Financial Independence.
All right.
But yeah, it's tough. It goes up and down. You know, some days things just take off. It seems like everybody in the world is seeing it and
Hmm.
engaging, and then other days it's crickets,
Yeah.
and you feel like you're doing the same thing. So I don't get it. I think Meta Threads is still trying to figure out their own algorithm some days.
I think you're correct on that because sometimes like wow, I call them window shoppers. Like a lot of window shoppers, they like stare like how many views on this thing today, and
Yep.
like no like or no following.
Yeah.
Okay, is this
Yep.
something? Is this you just saw it? I noticed too in the threads like this is like 22 hours ago. It's like I'm not going to comment on a post 22 hours ago. It makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Yep.
I want to see the present stuff. I want to see what's current. I don't want to like jump into something that's all over the place too. But it's a craftiness when it comes to it. And I think if you find your niche and you keep it going, but it's a busy work, right? Right, running a business is one thing, but marketing in the hustle and bustle, especially with wine and liquor, because you know they have the big conglomerates of stores. I see a lot of stores here in Connecticut that have gone under with like the huge stores coming in, right? And they have
Yeah.
all the discount and stuff. They have more options.
Yeah.
So how do you keep it relevant?
Yeah.
Your own business.
Yeah. It's interesting because in New York, we are a non-chain state, so an owner can only own one store in New York State. So I only have one store. That Total Wine and More,
Yep.
which is a
Hmm.
big chain, they only have one store in the whole state,
Hmm.
which is down in Long Island. So there's some insulation and protection from these big mega stores. And then we try to stay relevant by we really hammer customer service. We take good care of our customers. We're a small store, so we can only stock so much, but when somebody asks for something, we have it within days and make sure that they know we have it, whether it's just for them, whether it's something we start stocking. It's something I started right from day one of owning the store, and we still continue today because it just shows the people we care. And, you know, they're not going to, some people are willing to drive out of their way to save a dollar or two on a bottle of wine, but for the most part, people realize our prices are actually the same on most things, except when the big stores do sales. And then even then, you know, the savings, is it worth driving an extra 20 minutes out of the way and spending another $500 on gas
No, so I was
today?
gonna say
So,
with the gas fee, I think it's all 463 a gallon. Like,
yeah,
hell no,
yeah,
it's not worth it. Jeez,
yeah,
I will just drink water today. I don't know,
yeah,
because it costs me more money to just get to the store than
yep,
actually to buy the actual bottle of wine, which is crazy, right?
yep.
Have you noticed with, you know, I don't like to get too political on this because it's a
Mhm.
beach chair
Yeah.
and I don't want to have an excuse to have people want to go jump in the ocean after talking about it because that's how I feel some days. Have you noticed an impact on the market because of just legislation, taxation, tariffs, those
Yeah.
things? Has it impacted the market a little bit for you guys?
There's been some impacts on the market the last couple years, but there's a lot of factors going on right now. So uh, the from my perspective in a small store, the biggest things that are affecting us is younger generations drinking a little bit less,
Hmm.
older generations being a little bit more health conscious, and
Hmm.
the GLP-1s really taking off because that people don't realize that it suppresses appetite, but it also suppresses appetite for alcohol. So people are drinking less on GLP-1s. And then the THC stuff, which, largely unregulated, those beverages
Hmm.
for the last couple of years has really been kind of put a dent in us because it seems like anybody and anybody can sell them, but we can't
Hmm.
because we have to follow the laws. And
Yeah.
so that's those are, it's kind of a lot of different factors going on. I don't like to point at one major thing, but again,
Yeah.
we focus on customer service, and our base has been okay,
Hmm.
you know, so far.
Yeah, well, it didn't mention the GLPs. I was those are just nasty. Those are
Yeah.
horrible things. I'm not gonna, unless you're diabetic, do take them. If otherwise,
Yeah.
I'm seeing people taking them. Like you're just go to the gym, your face melts off. You have all these issues. You have GLP face, GLP, whatever, all the things. Your body does not do it. But I won't go down that because who knows? I might actually, if someone listens to this, like, hey, I take GLPs. That's a son of a bitch. He's like, making
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's true. But
Yeah. I don't know enough about them to judge one way or another. I know
no,
that I know they're good for some people, but it does seem like
the side
it
effects
does
are
seem like
really
a lot of
bad.
people are taking them without really doing their own
Hmm.
research and
Yeah.
trying on their own first. And
Yeah. And
but
they
I don't
don't have
know.
they don't have the beach body, but apparently they'll like wither away and you can't find them anymore because they're
Yeah.
so thin.
Yeah.
Um, but that's a whole sidebar conversation that I don't want to
Yep.
derail this whole conversation. Now you did send me a picture. I'm assuming that is your wife. I want
That
to
is
talk
my
about
wife.
that. And then where was this picture taken at?
That was in Aruba last
Nice.
year.
Hmm.
You asked for a beach picture.
I did.
I'm not a huge beach guy,
That's okay.
so that one was the first one I found going through my camera roll.
Hmm.
Um, we were down there last October for a couple days, little getaway, and
Hey,
snapped that photo. Nice
yeah,
sunset.
it was a beautiful sunset. You guys look very happy, a very happy couple, which is
Yep.
awesome. Always like to get beach photos because one, it's the podcast, I like something to talk about, but two, it's just it's fun to kind of have that. So when I share them online, if people are okay with it, then I have a
Yep.
story behind the actual beach photo. So it's
Yeah.
but Aruba is a wonderful place. I've never been, but I'm sure it was a wonderful place too. Now, where do things go for you now? Right? You have this business. Are there any more like, okay, maybe the wine and liquor store's been good. Do you see any more opportunities? Or can you
Yeah.
not talk about it because someone else might take it?
I'm generally not afraid of people taking ideas. That's something I've learned in the last, I don't know, 15, 20 years of coming up with business ideas and being so nervous about it and doing things and then talking to other people that have ideas. An idea is only worth something if somebody executes on it. And
Mm,
most people don't want to execute on somebody else's ideas. So
no.
it's pretty, sharing ideas sometimes is good because you get some feedback that may help. But I after I bought I bought the wine and liquor store in 2013. My goal was never to be working in the store all day, every day for the next 50
Hmm.
years. I kind of set out on a mission to work myself out of it as quickly as possible, which I accomplished a few years back, where I go in a few hours a week now. I have a good team, good systems, and I used my time then to start acquiring real estate.
Nice.
Found a partner, found some systems to flip some homes and acquire some and keep them. So we slowly built up a portfolio over the last 6 years of that. Because one of those things, like we talked a little bit about, alcohol is always, there's always a threat to things. The way
Hmm.
alcohol is consumed, what people are drinking, and then the protection that New York State gives me right now might not be there forever either. So Total
Yeah,
Wine and
true.
More could take over and really put a damper. Or New York State right now, wine is not sold in grocery stores. It's only in liquor stores, which is
Yeah.
a high profit for us. But shockingly, the grocery stores would like to sell it. So they're fighting all the time. So I always knew that there was a risk being in a highly regulated industry that my profits could change overnight under no control of my own. So I wanted to diversify. So I built this real estate. And now I'm really focused on trying to get out the word to people about buying a business.
Hmm.
There's 17 million businesses in the US right now that are owned by people 55 and older. That I've seen it here where some owners just close their doors. They don't even
Hmm.
realize that they can sell their business.
Yeah.
So if they're willing to close the doors, maybe they're just willing to hand the keys to somebody else at a very low price or at a 100% finance, which I do know sellers that have offered 100% financing to buyers. So I'm trying to get the word out about that to save our businesses, to prevent them from going out, and B, help other people find a path to financial freedom that they may not have known existed.
Well, there's a couple things about that too. Where I live in Connecticut, it's like a revolving door of businesses and restaurants because it's too expensive. And
Yeah.
there was a brewery in town that's called Bank and Bridge, one of my favorite places because it wasn't like a big fancy restaurant. And they like out of Vermont, and then they just like all of a sudden sold out. I'm like, no, why'd you another high-end Italian restaurant, which is not great. Went there for Christmas Eve, and it's like bad, really bad. But
Uh,
it's just the way they turn it over, right? They sell and they make profit and move on, which I don't blame them too. The market was crazy. But the funny thing too, I'm go back to what you said about grocery stores. So I'm originally from Nebraska, right? And I remember they actually one of the grocery stores actually almost like I think it had a form of a bar in the store, which
hmm.
I kind of dig it because
Yep.
one, I don't like grocery shopping. Two, is expensive. Like I have to do this maze and I have to go through and find these items and I have to pay a ridiculous amount of money to get out of said maze. It's not a fun game. So if I can kick up a couple shots of tequila, it's like let's do this.
Yeah.
I would be all for that.
Yeah.
Sign
I
me
like,
up. Give me a few drinks. Let's go grocery shopping. And God knows how big the build might be twice as
I,
much, but it's like, why did I bring home a package of ramen noodles? I don't
yeah.
know. Just probably back to college days and just
Yeah.
wanted them. They're not 25 cents anymore. Um,
Yeah.
so
I like that business model. It's probably good for the grocery stores as
I
well.
mean,
Get probably start sell a lot more things, like you said.
I'm saying you get him just impulse is gone, inhibition to the wind. I'm buying things I didn't even know I needed. Now I have almost $600 bill.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Yeah. Yep.
sell in New York, pitch it. They might turn the corner someday, but yeah,
Yeah.
but businesses are hard, right? Running a
Yep.
business today is hard. So when you're not working, right? When you're not doing all this business stuff and you're doing your podcast and doing all the things, what do you do in your downtime? You don't go to the beach, which is totally fine too, as well, right?
Yep.
What's downtime look like for you?
It's usually relaxing on the porch with some coffee
Yeah,
and chatting with my kids, maybe playing games.
there you
Uno's a
go.
popular one.
Oh yeah,
Um, or we actually took the kids skiing for the first time this past winter,
nice.
which was fun. They enjoyed it, so that could become a more regular winter activity. And in the summer, it's just hanging by the pool. So we yeah,
Yeah.
don't do the beach as much. The kids, we do have the beaches on Lake Erie, and we will go up at least once or twice a summer to some of the beach areas, but it's just more convenient to lounge in the backyard and relax.
Well, yeah, if you have a pool, then that makes it worth it, right?
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that where I live is like a 5 minute walk, 5, 10 minute walk max to the ocean. So
Oh, it's
it's not
beautiful.
big fancy beaches. It's just nice to sit there and watch the boats go by. I always joke with a buddy of mine. It's like, well, one day you're gonna like float by on your boat and like see me sitting there and like be nice, pick me up.
Yep. Yep.
Don't just see me sitting there like, hey, dock up. I'll come out.
Yep.
I'll swim out somehow because I
Yep.
can't swim to save my life. But I'd find a way to get on the boat. I'm like, do it. Let's go.
Yep.
But it's fun, to be outside, be outdoors. Hang out with your kids is great. Um, and doing those things. Now, do your kids have? How old are they? Are they younger? Are they?
Yeah, I have a 14-year-old and twin 10-year-olds.
They're soon. They'll be thinking about their future. They do think their 14-year-old's going to go into business too and do the same
I,
thing.
it's tough to say. She talks about doing her own thing, so
Mm,
I, I think I think growing up around business-minded people, I think it does naturally rub off to some extent,
yeah.
you know. But we'll see. It's I don't like to push anything on anybody and
Mhm.
let them find their own way.
How about motivation for this? Do you ever find yourself like getting burned out by it all? Do you lose it a little bit here, or are you still in the grind and you are motivated for success?
Yeah,
Or would you,
it's never been a grind for me. I
yeah,
don't
see,
it's I enjoy it. I enjoy, even that question about what I do in my downtime, I struggle because I'm perfectly content with my downtime to use that to tweak something marketing wise or look at the
oh yeah.
financials, run reports. I enjoy every minute of it.
Well, if that's the key for it all. If you don't enjoy it, then it's just well, it becomes work, right? It's just
Yep.
work, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and even for this, I have no business in social media marketing. I have the first clue what the hell I'm doing. But I think even you're right in the same mindset. You learn as you go, right? You
Yep.
develop this, you learn something new about even social media, learning more about threads, learning more about this profilers app
Yep.
to make it grow. And I think that's the beauty of it all. When if you're a person who likes to learn, right? You can do
Yep.
some pretty awesome things. And also, you might surprise yourself. Like, I didn't notice before. Now I know it now. Cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep doing this. I think that's an awesome way to think about how do you approach these, starting a business, but also for your kids too. I mean, they probably model this, they see it. Probably
Yep.
same with your wife as well. Sounds like she might be kind of that same driven person too, a little bit.
Yep.
And, they model the behaviors and hopefully that sticks with them too, right? I think as parents, we live in a world, speaking of social media, keeping kids present. Do you have I don't want to go too much on a rabbit hole for this one, but are you good with your kids? Like, hey, let's just be more present outside. You're playing board games or Uno. Are they on their
We
phones a lot on the social media stuff, checking things out, or?
we try our best. We're not perfect. They're not perfect, but we do, and make intentional times to,
Mm-hmm.
there's never phones at the dinner table. We're all working on making sure phones go down when there's other people sitting in the room with us. And even me, I'm not perfect at that either. There's
Oh, yeah.
always an excuse in the back of your head of, well, it's business, it's work,
Yeah, of
it's this,
course.
it's that. I track my macros, talking about health
Yeah, of
stuff, like,
course.
so, but yeah, we try our best,
Well,
but not perfect.
that's all you can do. No one's ever
Yeah.
perfect. You just try your best to do things. But yeah, we live in the digital world that we live in. Obviously, we have our own podcast, which will be on a digital device, and so people will listen to it or plug into it. And it's
Yep.
it's it's here nor there as long as the messages we put out are positive and great. That's
Yep.
all that matters.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, it's been wonderful having you on today. I'm awesome, excited to see the business you're growing there with wine and liquor. I'm gonna say this out loud. I've been trying to say I need to cut back myself. So I'm one of those consumers like, okay, he's not a bit.
Yeah.
Check him off a
Yeah.
list of
Yep.
clients. But yeah, I know it's summertime. It's hard. So,
Yep. Yeah.
but
That's the funny thing. People always assume they always ask, "Oh, winter must be great for you. People are just stuck inside drinking all the time." I'm like, nah, it's the summer. People
summer.
get together more. They're
Hmm.
outside. They're talking to their neighbors again after
Hmm.
6 to 9 months of not seeing anybody, and
Hmm.
usually involves a beverage or two. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah, definitely picks up in the summer.
Especially in my where I live in the summer, in the
Yep.
winter time when everybody leaves and vacates and half of them go to Florida for their real
Yep.
homes.
Yeah.
Right, it gets too cold for them in Connecticut, and now they got to
Yeah.
go snowbird it back down south.
Yeah.
But yeah, the stores
Yeah.
usually suffer, and so the
Yep.
locals try to keep them going, and it's a tough business. So you're right, summer is the time, and people like to be with friends, be with family. The fun holidays are popping up because, like, it's Thanksgiving and Christmas and Valentine's Day, not so much, but then you have St. Patrick's Day leading into Memorial Day, and then July 4th and Labor Day. These are like the really fun ones, right?
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
so speaking of fun, it's been fun having you get on today, and Tim, it's been a pleasure, and I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you having me. Yeah. Happy you had me.